Busch goes low. Burton blocks. He gets back up. Comes to the line. Jeff, your little boy has done it.
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios.
Driven by General Tire.
It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, a lot of people still talking about it. Harrison Burton sitting in the 34th spot and is now in the playoffs after that win at Daytona on Saturday night. What do you think about that? How you doing, man? Kenny Sargent, Crash Gladys, Statman, Richard C. Suave. We're all here to be a part of this big old thing. Freak Radio Network and, of course, on MAV TV. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the website, speedfreaks.tv. Woo! What a Saturday night of racing with Daytona. Harrison Burton, again, sitting 34th in points.
You want to give something in the 40s.
I do.
We're so used to 43 drivers.
That's how far back he came, it seems, to get that race win. Kyle Busch leading, and then Harrison Burton gets the win. Kyle Busch right now, well, again, we'll get into this. But my point is this. There's a lot of discussion, and it started when Austin Dillon took out Joey Logano, where Austin Dillon was sitting in the 32nd spot. Mm-hmm. He took out Joey Logano, and then he was into the playoffs. Well, okay, we know what happened with that.
At Richmond,
Austin Dillon is no longer in the playoffs. He has the win, but he was taken out of the playoffs with that. Now, Harrison Burton, sitting in the 34th spot, is in the playoffs, taking the spot of some other very popular drivers, Crasher.
And some arguably other more qualified, well, I use air quotes with that, qualified drivers for the playoff system. I'm not taking anything away from Harrison Burton. This win was massive. He did earn it. And this is a guy that's sitting on the outside looking in for a ride, a seat in general for 2025. But if the discussion that came about, one of the many discussions that came about from Austin Dillon's win in Richmond is, hey, should we allow somebody that's in the 30s in the points to be able to win their way into the playoffs? You know, somebody that's dabbling in the 30s probably isn't playoff caliber. Well, if we're going to have that discussion with Austin Dillon, his way into a win was different than what Harrison Burton did on Saturday night at Daytona. But the conversation is the same. It's a driver dabbling in the 30s, maybe not playoff caliber or playoff worthy, but they're winning and therefore getting themselves into the playoffs, arguably taking a spot away from someone who should be there. Again, air quotes, should be there instead.
Statman, Harrison Burton playing by the rules. That's the track that NASCAR laid for drivers to get into the playoffs. Do we try and fix it? Do they try and fix it? Do we live with it?
I think they're going to try and fix it next year. I think they should try and fix it next year. I agree 150% on what Crash just said. I don't know. I understand why they want to win your way into the championship because you're always trying throughout the regular season. But to jump over 25 guys to get into the playoffs, I don't think is fair. I don't think it's not fair as some place you go in the summer, but I don't think it's right, and I don't think they should. What Crash said.
Richie, but these are the rules, and they're playing by the rules. If you take away wins from guys that are in the 20s and 30s positions in NASCAR going into these last couple of playoff races, what's their incentive to win the race other than just to win the damn race?
Yeah, I actually looked this up before the show because I was curious when this rule was changed, because there used to be a top 30 in points rule in order to make the playoffs if you won. It changed prior to 2023. So this is, yeah, I did not realize that they got rid of it prior to 2023 season. So think of it this way. Harrison Burton would not be in the playoffs if he won this race back in 2022, right? Several years ago back, even Justin Haley, you remember Justin Haley? He won the race at the July 4th race at Daytona, and he didn't make the playoffs back then, which was probably one of the contributing factors to changing it in the first place. But here's the thing. People weren't winning outside of the top 30 in points prior. So I don't have a problem with them changing the rule at all. If you win, you deserve to be in the playoffs. I'm sorry. If you go out and you win a race and you beat the best drivers in the world, you're in the playoffs. You're proving to me that you're one of the top 16 drivers in the sport. Because you know what? Kyle Busch hasn't won a race this year. Martin Truex Jr. hasn't won a race this year. Those are two Hall of Famers. And Harrison Burton outright beat those two on one of the toughest tracks to win a race. Crazy? Yes, but tough as heck. And Harrison Burton proved that he deserves to be in the playoffs. And if you win a race, you're in the top 16. You're in the playoffs. Easy answer for me.
But this is the example of why it's difficult, because half the field didn't finish the race. They got crashed out. So he didn't beat everybody to earn his way in. Like I say all the time, he was in first place when the race ended. There were some very top cars that were on the sidelines for various and sundry reasons. So it's, a popular win, but I don't think that I don't think he really deserves to be in there. I mean,
to your point, Simon, I will give you this. He was, like you said, he was 34th in points going in. You know how many full-time drivers there are? There's 34. He was literally dead last in full-time driver points.
Oh.
Yeah, and he was fired because of it. He didn't have a ride for next year. But like I said, he was in first place when the race ended. So in theory, he won, but he beat some, just by surviving, he beat some incredible cars. And I just don't think that you should be able to jump over, 15, 20 cars just because you won a race.
All right. Well, let me play devil's advocate here, Freak Nation. Stat man, we've seen it before where the heavyweight champion is an overall favorite. However, that tomato can lands a lucky punch and takes down the heavyweight champion, and that tomato can becomes a heavyweight champion.
Like Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson. Yeah, I understand that. But Buster Douglas didn't beat 5 or 6. Mike Tyson was there, and he had a chance to be ready to fight. In Daytona, there were 15 or 20 cars that were either not there or weren't ready to compete at the end of the race. So he didn't beat the best of the field. He beat the guys who survived. And I just don't see, luck shouldn't play a part in a championship for a series that wants to be considered world class.
But then again, we're at the beginning of the NFL season. We've seen teams go from a wild card all the way to the Super Bowl, and that's arguably luck that's at play there. So,
but
it's
that's
tough.
Wild card. In order to be a wild card, they have to win 2/3 of their events, 2/3 of their games.
Okay, valid.
To be a wild card. So they are good. They may not be as good as the best, but they're good enough to be there and to be considered.
Okay, so using the NFL analogy, should NASCAR come up with a wild card system in which, yes, you've got your top 16 in points, but then 16 to 26 is the wild card. If you win and you're in that buffer, that window, cool, you're on into the playoffs. But if you're outside of the 26, then no. Should they go back to that?
I think that they should go back to if you're outside the 26 or the 30, that, if you win, cool, but you don't qualify for the playoffs because you've demonstrated all year that everybody else is better than you. And because of some circumstance, you win. I don't think that you should be considered one of the top 16.
Harrison Burton talking about the battle with Kyle Busch for that final lap.
And I was thinking, trying to put myself in his shoes of what is he thinking? What is he trying to do to pass me? Where is his help with Christopher and all that? And you know, once I made the block and like pulled across his nose and kind of took all his energy by making a late block, to where I obviously almost crashed, but that was what I needed to do to kind of take the energy away from him. Then I thought I had kind of done it, but until then I had wasn't feeling comfortable out there. That's for sure.
Okay, well, hold on. That's a whole nother topic of conversation that hit our text thread last night. Of course, Kenny and I are out camping. We'll get to that story later and how we actually saw this race with no cell service. But you brought that up, Statman. Harrison Burton just said something about blocking. He blocked Kyle Busch in order to secure this win at Daytona. We've seen it more often than not in which blocking is dangerous.
Okay, well, let's save that conversation. We've got about 45 seconds, then we've got a break. That's exactly where I was going to go with it. I said Harrison Burton teed it up perfectly for Statman's concern regarding blocking in NASCAR and motorsports. We'll hit that. To alleviate this conversation, is it also part of the scheduling that NASCAR needs to do is put driver tracks towards the tail end of these races leading into the play? You've got Talladega next year in the playoffs. Imagine the conversation we're going to have.
Talladega's in the playoffs this year.
Okay. Yeah, right. You're right. Exactly. Sorry about that.
It's coming up.
Holy
in
smokes.
a month and a half.
I'm getting confused here. My God. Blocking, alleviating Daytona from the picture if it gets somebody. I'm discombobulated here. Going to take a break. More with Harrison Burton and the Freaks coming up.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Thank you, Lucas Oil, for making this thing possible. And Freak Nation, do yourself a favor. Go to lucasoil.com, check out their website, and where you can pick up Lucas Oil products, your motorcycle, your truck, your sports car, and even your speedboat. Lucas Oil has the products. Keep all of them on the road or on the lake, fat and happy. What I was getting at that last segment, I knew there was some type of change with Talladega allegedly for the 2025 schedule. What was that, Richie?
Yeah, shout out to Glenn. Right. For checking us on it. He said that Talladega is going to be in the round of 8 next year, so it is a qualifying race, allegedly. Schedule's not officially out yet. Allegedly is going to be a qualifying race to make it into the championship 4.
Got it. We'll get to that. We'll get into blocking in NASCAR. More from Harrison Burton, your winner from Saturday night in Daytona, sitting 34. What was that again, Richie? He was literally the 34th driver.
He was 34th in points, which is dead last among the full-time drivers in the NASCAR Cup Series.
Oh my gosh. Steve Phelps.
He's also like 1 and 100 plus. This was his first Cup win in 3 years of being in the Cup Series.
Wow.
So yeah, is that a championship? Let's say he gets lucky and wins a couple of races and gets to the Final 4 and he could possibly be a champion. I just don't see that as what NASCAR wants for their championship driver.
No,
they don't. NASCAR's in a position where they have to, again, do something. They have to figure out this whole playoff format and fine-tune the gray details around it in order to establish a well-respected way of determining a champion.
Crasher, can we move pit news and notes to 45 past the hour?
Absolutely.
Can we do that? Because I like where this conversation is going, Freak Nation. Statman brought up a good point, but I want to see. Hey, I want to see what's in Statman's right hand, because what the hell are you drinking, man? Really? I mean, nothing screams championship like the Wood Brothers and Harrison Burton, right?
Trevor Bayne and the Daytona 500 win.
Yes,
they win races.
Well, how many races have the Wood Brothers won in the Cup Series? And I know, Richie, you're going to get our crack staff on this.
It's 100.
This was their 100.
Hold on. How many Cup races have the Wood Brothers won in our 24 years of doing Speed Freaks?
Not many.
We can name 2 right now: Harrison Burton and Trevor Bayne. Right?
Wasn't there an Eric Jones win in there?
We can name Joe Gibbs. We can name hell. I can name Chip Ganassi. Maybe.
I think Kyle gave.
Montoya?
Yeah.
What's the emoji, Suave, for you residential millennials, of someone with the emoji on our phones with the hand on their forehead?
Face palm.
Yeah, face palm. That is Steve Phelps. After that Harrison Burton win, is like, oh man,
not again.
You can't tell me that Steve Phelps and every NASCAR executive are going, come on, Kyle, come on, Kyle, come on, Kyle.
Make it legitimate for us.
No, Harrison Burton. Look, how do you spell Harrison? What? Oh, it's Chip. That's Chip Burton's son. To doing our broadcast. I mean, that was a beautiful moment. Yes.
And Harrison's a great kid.
Yes.
But we're talking playoffs on a major American sporting series. This doesn't look good. This just doesn't.
Harrison Burton, even in his post-race interview, said, I was fired from the team.
There's my...
Yes.
Make it make sense. It doesn't.
So here's my story. Read it, Swabby.
This is from Lily on YouTube watching us live. Says he doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs regardless how feel good a story it is.
So over the weekend, Crasher and I are spending, there's our boy, Art Man.
He has one more than me.
Hi, Art.
Sounds like what I used
He's
to say
not
about
wrong.
What I used to say about Mark Martin. Mark Martin's got as many NASCAR Cup Series championships as I do. Love Mark Martin. Love you. Okay. So Crasher and I were camping about 7,000 feet up north of Phoenix, just outside of Jerome, Arizona. And we had 0 cell service in our camping area. Yet our car with Sirius XM, which, by the way, we are on Freak Nation. We were able to listen to the race. And it's
Part of it.
Well, we were too busy we weren't imbibing yet. We were listening to the race and got into the car and thought, we got to find cell service. There's 20 laps here. We got to go find cell service. We got to watch this damn thing, man.
Well, I listened to the end of stage 2 and I'm like, all right, this is shaping up to be good. We got some big names out, but you know what? We still have some big names who are desperate for a win. Kyle Busch being one of them. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a great final stage. Let's go back to the campfire, chill for a second. And then all of a sudden time went by and I'm like, whoa, where's the race? And you're right. It was about 20 laps to go. We're like, get on social media.
We're in the middle of this campsite, man. All these people around and we're screaming, oh, we gotta go. And Henley, our daughter's going, where you going? I gave him a walkie-talkie so we could talk back at camp. Because we had to go to this. I mean, it was, if there was ever a deliverance or banjo music happening where we parked this car, I mean, I made sure that we were protected, parked on the side of the road, this dirt road, with 2 people sitting in the front seat and they're on their phones watching the race.
And not paying attention to the boogeyman in the woods. Yeah.
Oh, well, truth be told, I was going to go by myself because I'm like, I got to make sure I got to do some stuff with Kyle Busch. And Kenny's like, I'm going to drive you.
Yes.
You're not going by yourself.
Stat man, listen. To that point, I kept my foot on the brake lights. So behind us, at least the red lights would illuminate what's behind me. And I could keep looking in the rearview mirror if somebody was going to sneak up and break into the damn car as we're watching Harrison Burton win the damn cup race.
That was only a half a lap.
I've been to Jerome. It's a old ghost town from the copper mines. I know about Jerome, and that's not a place you want to be in the dark.
Hey, Jerome would have been a plush palace considered where we were, Stat man. And these were dirt freaking roads and barbed wire that was probably 75, 150 years old and trees for freaking days, man.
It was gorgeous, though.
But how do you know it was dark as hell?
Well, because we went up there earlier in the day to find this cell service area. We scouted it. We were going to get cell service tonight. We got to at least watch the last 20 laps.
The only time I would have done something like that is if the freaking U.S. men's team were in the World Cup finals. I would have made sure I was going to go. I just remember Henley.
Wait, no.
What?
If the U.S. men's soccer team is in the World Cup finals, there is no way we're even going camping. Yeah. There's no way we are leaving our house.
Kenny's going to sell the house to be at the game.
He would. Sorry, Henley, you thought you were going to college, and not anymore. Man. The men are in the finals.
You think the men's team will ever make the World Cup finals in my lifetime?
Yeah, well, we got to start with them making the tournament first.
Well, that's how you do it, Stat man. You host the damn thing to where the hosts automatically get in.
And that's coming up. 4 years.
Yeah, see, just like Harrison Burton. They host the thing, they get in, and they run the table.
Okay, so will they make changes in the offseason? I think they have to.
They have to. They cannot allow, no matter how good, like the people have been saying in our text messages, no matter how good this feel-good story is, you cannot determine a championship in a major sporting series because somebody lucked into a race where half the field was gone and several of the major players their cars were either damaged. I mean, look at Darrell Wallace. He got into the second to the last crash and was 25th. They had another crash and suddenly he's running 8th and with a damaged car. That's
a good point.
Yeah, I mean, he was leading when the race ended. And, that's who knows if he'd have been leading in another lap.
Keselowski had a drive-through, and by the end of the race,
he was back up there.
He was in the top 10.
That's
right. But there was so many cars were damaged and weren't at 100%. Like, imagine if the Charlotte Hornets last year, they win a game and suddenly they qualify to get into the postseason tournament in the NFL. It's the same thing. He's 1 in 100 in his career, and he's playing for running for the championship now.
Ooh. Freak Nation, coming up next, we're going to put the pause on the NASCAR conversation because our good friend Chris Dyson, who led flag to flag in Watkins Glen, one of the greatest TransAm drivers, sports car drivers ever, he's going to join us next. I'm told he's going to join us from join us from the side of the road with the cicadas. He'll be joining us.
Yeah, he was looking for some cell service so he could.
Exactly.
We're all looking for cell service this week.
Chris Dyson, Trans Am winner, and more coming up. SpeedFreaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studio.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Nation, if there was ever a domination in Trans Am, Chris Dyson was part of it, flag to flag with Watkins Glenn win. He joins us now here in the Freak Nation. And Chris, I'm curious, with 8 weeks off, which had more rust on it, you as a driver or that freaking race car?
Yeah, so, 2 months off was a long time. I think everyone was really, really itching to get back. We went back and tested last week for 2 days at VIR, and I think that helped everybody kind of get back in the groove. For me, certainly just getting all of the speed back in me, it felt great. So I felt like we hit the ground running at the Glen, and it was a great weekend from start to finish.
I saw that you were testing at Virginia. There was a time in this season, I should say, that Paul Menard was just on domination mode. So what were you testing specifically to beat him?
Well, I think, to be honest, Crash, we've been competitive everywhere. It's been really a lot closer than the points suggest. We've just had some bad luck. With the exception of Pittsburgh, I think we've had a car to win every single race. Paul's just been out pointing us bits and pieces, and that's what it takes to get a lead in the championship sometime here. But I think with us, a lot of it was just the fine tuning, just trying to get this, some speed back in the car, kind of across the fuel runs, trying to optimize qualifying a little bit better. I think that's something we needed to spiff up a little bit, and I'm really pleased how it ended up this weekend.
Okay, well, there you go. Trying to figure out how to optimize qualifying better. You set a record, the fastest lap in qualifying here. So, yes, something at Virginia worked. And you're right, some bad luck that just plays into racing sometime. But moving forward now through the end of the season, you guys have the momentum. You're ready to put it on kill.
Yeah, we've got 3 to go and everything's still left to play. And to be honest, I'm just in it for the race wins now. We really... Look, it's been 3 great years of championship, and we're not going to give up. But honestly, you got to win the races to win the titles, as far as I'm concerned. And I'd like to come out of this season winning the most races. And that's why we go racing, right? Win races, win championships. Paul's been a good competitor all year. I'm excited to go up to Mosport. That's one of the team's favorite places, and we're competitive, and we've won at the last couple races of the year. So I'm looking forward to keeping this Jim Weed car up front now.
Chris Dyson is the Watkins Glenn winner in Trans Am. Pulled over on the side of the road. Tell us where you are, and are you on a picnic or something? Cicadas in the background, all 9.
Yeah, I know. I'm taking you guys on a little nature walk tonight. We're up in upstate New York here. Between races, we're going to go up and just enjoy a little bit of time upstate. And we're actually going to head over to Mosport up at, just outside of Toronto at the end of this week. So 2 of the best tracks in the world within days of each other. We're a lucky boy right now. That's for sure.
You took some time off with the family. Did that help you recharge and get you ready for this great weekend at Watkins Glen?
That's a great question. I actually think that, my son was playing baseball competitively for like most of the last month. So I was basically just a hydration caddy for him and the team, and getting him places, getting them places. We were all over the country playing, and it was really inspirational for me, Bill, just to go out and just to see these kids compete and see how hard they push themselves. And that, I think that rubbed off on me. It really energized me. And we were in South Carolina, and I was just going out and running in the heat. So I think that probably helped a little bit this weekend.
So please tell me that the 3-time Trans Am champion wasn't making orange slices for his son's baseball team.
No, it takes too much work, Bill. I was actually just mixing powdered beverages for them and kind of making food runs. I don't do much of the food prep these days. You wouldn't want me to.
Oh, really?
Chris Dyson, Trans Am winner from Watkins Glen, joining us here in the Freak Nation. You saw the race on MAV TV. And getting back to my original question, when a car sits that long, frankly, does it take a while for it to get back into race mode, kind of like the body or the mind?
We could go deep on this one, I think, Kenny, but I don't know if we can get too much into the mind of an inanimate object. But I can tell you what, it wasn't a Stephen King novel this weekend. I love that car. It was nice to me. It's been fast since we sort of woke it up from its nap at Virginia last week, and we just hope she keeps running this fast at Motorsport this weekend and for the end of the Trans-Am season.
We've yet to have Paul Menard here in the Freak Nation. We've been chasing each other to have him after a race. What is it about that team that they seem to find this little mojo, this little magic to contend for these race wins along with you and your Jim Weed car?
They've got a lot of experience. They know a lot of the angles, and they're playing all of them.
But you kept him at bay all day Sunday. You kept him at bay. He was trying. He was fighting for it, but you had it. Have you, again, the bad luck is done. It's gone in the season. But have you gone over that hurdle now to be able to be ahead of him the rest of the season?
I think speed-wise, we've always been just as good, if not better. You know, like I said, it's not a cop-out. He's just gotten points on days when we've had unfortunate luck. And I don't view that as something that we're kind of at a deficit. I think, if anything, we're kind of just resetting the balance a little bit. And I think it's going to be a hell of a race between the two of us and anybody who shows up these next 3 rounds. You know, when you look back at the great races of this year, you know, Paul and I have been neck and neck just about everywhere. And you know, if things had gone different, I think the points could have been completely inverted. But that's the nature of the game, and that's why we keep coming back to play. I know that I like my name at the top of the charts, and that's where we're going to try to keep it. But you're not guaranteed anything in this game.
Hey, Chris, did I see on Instagram or on social somewhere where you were either there or there was some certain content provided with sprint cars recently, and you're tied in with that, correct?
Yeah, we've got it. Well, we've got a Silver Crown program, CD Racing, that my buddy Shawn Michael's been running for the last 6 years, and we've generally been running USAC events. And Brady Bacon's been our driver this year, and he's done a terrific job. That's been something that's been in my life for about the last 7 or 8 years. I just love the short track racing. Did a little bit of it myself, and I'm happy to be able to still support the team.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Chris Dyson, Watkins Glenn winner in Trans Am, I used to go up to Ventura and see you in the midget. I think it was. Was it a midget or was that a full sprint car that you were racing?
No, you came up
years ago.
No, you're absolutely right. That was pretty funny, actually. I think you were in disbelief that I was there most of the time, but we were having some fun, and that was a Western States midget race back then. Long time ago, but it was a good time.
All right, Freak Nation. He was kind enough to stop on the side of the road to do this interview. Your Watkins Glenn winner in the Trans Am class, which, of course, you saw on MAV TV. Flag to flag here in the Freak Nation. Buddy, go back to partying with those cicadas we hear in the background, all right?
Always got time for you guys, especially after a day like the one we just had.
Attaboy. Chris, thank you, buddy.
Okay, guys.
How many champions call in from the road next to the cicadas like that? Chris Dyson, 3-time Trans Am champion?
Yes. Can we go full disclosure? Peel back the curtain, or what are you saying?
I don't know.
Then he texts us saying, I just didn't want to miss you guys. My schedule got all changed up, and I just didn't want to miss you guys. I didn't want to leave you hanging. Why aren't all drivers like that?
No.
Or their PR people, I should say. That was very courteous. Very kind.
And you know what? Let's put Chris Dyson in that conversation regarding Harrison Burton sitting 34th in points. He wins Daytona Saturday night and is now in the playoffs. Chris Dyson is out of the championship hunt.
Right.
And I think even Chris for Trans Am, and I think Chris Dyson would even say, listen, I'm out of the hunt. I don't need a gimmick or something to get me into championship play here.
I see what you're saying. He was out going into this weekend in Watkins Glen. Just because he won doesn't mean he's feeling like, oh, now I should be in playoff contention. No.
Right.
No. Right. Well, we are hearing a lot of that noise again of some NASCAR fans saying, hey, there's no playoff needed for Formula One or IndyCar. I think we had somebody chime in just a little bit ago. I think that was Lily chiming in earlier about motorsports don't need playoffs. Go back to weighting wins nicely so that wins absolutely matter, but that you don't need a playoff system. You go off the points of an entire season in totality. The argument that will never end.
I don't know.
It's not.
I mean, IndyCar can do it. I get it. I just
Formula
think
One. Well, Formula One's had a weird year.
Hold on a second. Don't get me going on that.
Yeah.
In IndyCar, so many times without the playoffs, it still comes down to the last race where somebody needs to finish in front of somebody else in order to get a championship.
Sonoma, how many years ago? I believe it was pre-COVID, so maybe 18-ish. I can't remember the year. Scott Dixon came from 5th in the final race, 5th in points to win the championship in one race. Come on, that's what should happen in every racing series.
Freak Nation, coming up next, Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes. And the percentages are not in the Wood Brothers' favor to win another race in the playoffs. It's bananas. And we'll share that with you next. SpeedFreaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studios.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line. Does it have to be family? It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Next to your vehicle's engine, your transmission is the most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents. Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse. And put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, coming up in moments, we're going to get the percentages on the Wood brothers winning another Cup race this year. It'll blow you away with these numbers that we have found, given the fact that Harrison Burton was sitting in the 34th spot and is now in the playoffs. But first, Crash Gladys Spit News and Notes brought to you by my good friends at General Tire. Go to GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com to find the tire for your ride. Got yourself a truck? Got yourself a minivan? What about a sports car? Yep, General Tire's got them. GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of the freaks for over 2 decades. Crasher?
All right, NASCAR's penultimate round. Kenny,
oh, God.
I did that purposely.
Yes.
Penultimate round of the full regular season, I should say. That was Friday and Saturday for the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series at Daytona on did I say Friday and Saturday? I meant Friday and Saturday. Anyway, on Friday, the big one came with less than 10 laps to go, eliminating several big names from that Xfinity win. Ryan Truex taking advantage and taking home the dub after yet another caution came with just a couple to go. Saturday also saw big names going out early, including Truex's older brother, Martin. But in the end, apparently it just was not meant to be for Kyle Busch, who had a rocket, and it was meant to be for first-time winner Harrison Burton, driving home win number 100 for the Wood brothers. And again, I'm just going to leave it there because the stats of how many Wood brothers wins have happened since we started this show, we'll get to that. But wait, in NASCAR, there's more. The Truck Series actually kicked off their playoffs in Milwaukee, where Lane Riggs played spoiler, leading 8 playoff drivers to the checkered flag for his first win. But by the way, he's a rookie, so having a first win as a rookie, yes. And if that last name sounds familiar, it should. He is the son of NASCAR winning driver Scott Riggs. If you're at the Milwaukee Mile as we speak, we'll stay there because coming up this weekend is a doubleheader for IndyCar. Do not leave that infield. Stay because you got a big old weekend continuing from what you just saw with the NASCAR trucks. This past Sunday, it was Will Power taking home his 3rd win on the IndyCar season, this time in Portland, vaulting himself into 2nd in points, where he will battle Alex Palou for the season title with just 3 races to go. Like I just said, 2 of them at Milwaukee this weekend. Motocross wrapped the outdoor season in Central Indiana on Saturday. Race winners were Tom Vialli in the 250s, his 2nd on the season, and Chase Sexton with a dominant 1-1 finish, solidifying himself as your newest 450 motocross champion. Up next for the dirt bikers is the Super Motocross overall campaign starting at Charlotte Motor Speedway on September 7th, then going on to Fort Worth, Texas, and then Las Vegas, baby. TransAm, you just heard from your winner there, returned to Watkins Glen this weekend after a lengthy summer break. Chris Dyson back in the winner's circle. That interview will be available via podcast on our website, speedfreaks.tv, once the show is over. And with additional sports cars, I should say, IMSA at VIR, Virginia International Raceway. Madison Snow and Brian Sellers mirrored much of what we saw from Chris Dyson in New York, a track record pole-setting run, and then a dominant race win. Oh, yeah. Formula One was also racing. You want to hear that, Kenny? You have any care in the world about that?
Just get it over with.
Well, Max Verstappen is starting to be a little crybaby because, I don't know what's
starting?
wrong. Oh, okay, well, yeah, good point. But
he's starting
now,
to be a crybaby crasher?
It's being more public and it's being picked up.
His car
on more.
sucks, Crash. He can't turn the dang car. Not his fault.
Oh, no, of course it's not his fault, but it was his credit when they would win so much. Yeah, okay.
You need a Richie rant.
We don't need a Richie
I
rant.
haven't got anything this week, man.
But Max Verstappen, because the team is falling apart as it has been since the Christian Horner debacle at the beginning of the season. Lando Norris taking the win in the Dutch GP.
All right, Freak Nation, enough Formula One conversation.
I know, I said.
Okay. So, now follow me here. Back up just a second. Saturday night, Harrison Burton wins your Daytona race. Prior to that, he was sitting 34th in points. And Richie, What does 34 also have to do with that team?
That was the last place driver among the full-time drivers in NASCAR Cup Series.
Points.
That's the Wood brothers. Somebody got the 100th win for the Wood brothers.
The team that completely changed the landscape of pit stops. Yes, that they should be credited with that. They are an OG team in NASCAR. Awesome. But they've had how many wins since we started this show in the year 2000?
The Chicago Cardinals were an original team in the National Football League.
Okay, valid.
But now, several incarnations later, they're here in Phoenix. Anyway.
Arizona Cardinals, and they stink.
So here we go, Freak Nation. Since we started this show, June of 2000, the Wood brothers have won. I can count them on one hand. 4 races. All right. 4 races. And let's just say, Statman Crash, Richie, let's just say on average, there were 36 races a year for 24 years. Okay. Okay. Let's just say we've already completed the 24th year.
Yeah, we completed this year. Yeah.
That's 864 races. The Wood brothers' one-loss record is 4 in 860.
Since we started this show.
Wow.
In the year 2000.
But the Wood brothers have a driver in the playoffs. They don't have Bubba Wallace. They don't have Kyle Busch. They don't. I could go on and on and on. But Harrison Burton is in the playoffs. A great story. I get it.
So Harrison Burton has won 25% of all the races won by the Wood brothers. Maybe he does deserve to be in the playoffs.
In the last 24 years.
Alex Bowman has been with Rick Hendrick since when, Richie? 2016?
2016.
He's won 8 races for Rick Hendrick Racing.
And that could be considered low.
Ryan Blaney. Who was the other one, Richie?
It was Elliott Sadler. Won in 2001 at Bristol in the spring. And then Trevor Bayne, the Daytona 500.
Trevor Bayne, Daytona. Ryan Blaney, Pocono. And now Harrison Burton, Daytona. So 2 of those 4 wins, by the way, since the year 2000, 2 of those 4 wins for the Wood brothers team were at Daytona, where you can sometimes just throw a bunch of confetti in the air and whichever one lands on the checkered flag is the winner. That's Daytona. I don't know why.
I don't know what the hell that analogy was, but I think maybe by the time this airs on MAB TV and Labor Day weekend, we'll all understand that analogy.
It's kind of like understanding winners of Daytona.
Give it a week and it'll marinate a little bit.
864 races, give or take. The Wood brothers have won 4 of those races. 4. Yeah, but he got the 100th. Jimmy Johnson. I get it. Those are the rules. But man, it's going to blow if one of those drivers who've been sitting top 20 in points for the majority of the season does not make it in.
And the names we're talking about, Martin Truex Jr., Ty Gibbs, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace. I mean, yeah.
Ross Chastain.
Ty Gibbs has had a spectacular season. He just hasn't won any races. And I'm the last person to be a Ty Gibbs fan. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we got to settle up with, Freak Nation. I think this.
And the Austin Dillon fans are going to come out and be like, wait, what? What? You want us to race hard for the win, but you take our guy's win away. Harrison Burton, he raced hard just in a different way.
Harrison Burton also didn't destroy $1 million worth of cars to get the win.
And for you Austin Dillon fans, yes, there is an actual, I didn't know it existed until we were in Michigan and discovered the rule book that yes, it does exist, that NASCAR can retract your playoff eligibility if your action is detrimental to the sport, which they claimed Austin Dillon's wreck to win was. So there is that.
So we have spin to win and now wreck to win.
Which the win stays, but the playoffs
don't. Man, we didn't even get a chance to get into the topic about blocking.
Oh, to be continued.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I want to talk Lee Diffie.
So true.
He was great. And let's give him his let's give him his chops. Let's give him his credit. Give him his due. Yes. Yes.
Evidently, you guys are fans of Lee Diffie as well. The guy mid NBC NASCAR season joins the broadcast and gets that race for his first race. I mean, it was seamless with, I don't want to go, we got to break here in a minute, with Steve Letarte, Jeff Burton, and we'll play it. Okay. Oh, man. His call was spectacular with Harrison Burton's dad in the call, on the call with him. Oh, my gosh.
What a moment. What a moment.
I was on some dirt road, 7,000 feet up, just outside of Jerome, with my brake lights on, making sure nobody would sneak up behind me. Watching the race. All right, Freak.
You wouldn't have seen him anyway.
No. Big second hour, Freak Nation. Lee Diffie, yes or no? Also, Dallas Glenn, Pro Stock points leader. He joins us. And the Crandon Off Road Nationals are huge, and they'll be on MAV TV. We'll hit that next. SpeedFreaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studio.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Summer is finally here. Cookouts, pool parties, and rising gas prices. Time to start using Lucas Fuel Treatment. Lucas Fuel Treatment improves mileage, increases power, and lowers emissions. It's a virtual tune-up in a bottle. Just pour it directly into the tank for a dramatic improvement in the performance of your vehicle. Good for gas and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. Get it now at your local auto parts store.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAV TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAV TV Go has something for everyone. MAV TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
All Freak Nation, second hour Speed Freaks, MAV TV, and of course on the Freak Radio Network. Thank you guys for hanging out. Our special guest this hour, Keegan Kincaid. Dude is going to be running for another Crandon Off Road Championships. Again, you'll be able to see on MAV TV. If there was ever a first family of Crandon Crasher, wouldn't you say it would be the Kincaid family with his dad and, of course, the wins that Keegan Kincaid's had at Crandon?
3, I believe, from Keegan at Crandon.
Right.
Their shop is just 2 miles away. 2 miles away from the racetrack and the big old Lucas Oil barn. Come on, it doesn't get much better than that.
Keegan Kincaid will be joining us this hour. Also, your NHRA Pro Stock winner from Brainerd, and a dude who was running up front for the championship last year in the Pro Stock class and just crapped the bed.
Oh.
Hoping he's not going to do it again. He wanted Brainerd. Dallas Glenn. What? Hey,
I hope we don't ever get a chance to talk to him again after that introduction.
Yeah. Hey, Dallas, you crapped the bed. You're
This
going to
is
do
a
it again in
motorsports-
2024.
This isn't a freaking kids children's book show. Dang it.
Well, then ask him about it.
All right.
Just put it out there.
Dallas Glenn, NHRA Pro Stock winner for Brainerd, will be here in the Freak Nation as we get set for the big go, the U.S. Nationals, NHRA U.S. Nationals, coming up next weekend. Statman Scat also, and again, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, everywhere else there is social media provided to you guys. The website, speedfreaks.tv. You heard the story last hour about where Crasher and I were watching a part of the NASCAR Cup Series race on Saturday night from Daytona. And it kind of, again, when we finally turned it on, it kind of, whoa. Then that Lee Diffie, it's IndyCar. No, that's NASCAR.
Yes.
And Richie, you put it out there. Lee Diffie taking the seat from Rick Allen, who was doing play-by-play for the NASCAR Cup Series for NBC. Lee Diffie, mid-season, comes in and takes over, or mid-NBC season, comes in and take over his play-by-play calling for the NASCAR Cup Series. We don't need to go in length on why this happened and how strange it is to change your lead announcer out of the gate, or excuse me, mid-season or NBC season. I don't want to get into that. But evidently, Richie, not a whole lot of people were upset with Lee Diffie jumping in the seat for Rick Allen in the NASCAR Cup Series.
Yeah, to get this, first of all, Lee Diffie was trending on Twitter on Saturday night. First of all, okay, inside the top 5, right as soon as the race was over, he was trending. So everybody loves themselves some Lee Diffie. Obviously, fresh off of his terrific job at track and field during the Olympics in Paris. But I put this out on Twitter on Saturday night. I asked, "Are we enjoying having Lee Diffie on the call of this race?" And we got 420 responses, well over 100,000 like impressions and whatnot. One of our most popular tweets in a long time. And overwhelmingly positive. I'd say about 85 to 90% positive. Everybody was loving themselves some Lee Diffie. There were a couple dopes out there who were trying to say like, oh, he's not American. We can have a non-American call a NASCAR.
Stop. Just stop it, people. He
Exactly.
speaks English.
Exactly. And he's an American citizen too.
Right?
If you didn't know that, he's been an American citizen for well over a decade at this point in time, which is really cool. So
we still talk about that.
Yeah, apparently.
Yes.
Apparently.
Okay.
And one of the people to respond was Rajat Caruth, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series driver, who gave us an emphatic yes. He was enjoying the call of Lee Diffie, as did a lot of other people. And yeah, he was absolutely terrific this weekend. And he's one of those guys, as we know from his IndyCar days, where like he can take a race that's like a 7 and bring it up to like a 9 or 10. And he did that at points on Saturday night in Daytona.
That's exactly something that I want to reference in this Lee Diffie conversation that we're having right now, is watching the IndyCar race on Sunday. I missed that voice, and I have missed it for a couple of races. And no disrespect to Kevin Lee, Townsend Bell, James Hinchcliffe, they do a great job as well, but there is a level of excitement that is missing that Lee Diffie always provided. And who cares what his accent is? His excitement level, his passion for motorsports, whether he's calling motocross with Ricky Carmichael or he's calling NASCAR like we saw in Daytona Saturday night. He has such an enthusiasm for racing of any kind, and it comes across in the broadcast. You cannot help but listen to his voice, watch what he's talking about, and be completely immersed because of him. Not just because of the action on the track, but because of him narrating that action. It's mind-blowing to me. Thank you, Lee Diffie, for what you do. Miss you in IndyCar, big time, but love his presence in NASCAR.
Yeah, let me add to this this show, this sweetness that we're throwing his way. There are certain names that through in sportscasting, Al Michaels and Bob Costas are two. When they are in the booth, they bring a level of value to what's going on. They make it a better show, like you just indicated. And Lee Diffie is becoming that for motor racing or for speed. He proved that with the track and field at the Olympics. When you see things go fast, you want to hear Lee Diffie's voice.
Ooh, that's a good point.
That's a great point. From
the Olympics back home to motorsports. Yeah, if it's speed, Lee Diffie is on the big calls.
Freak Nation, was there I'm asking this honestly because, again, Crasher and I we were camping at 7,000 feet and had to go find cell service to watch the last part of the race, as I said the first hour. But for most of the race, Richie, was there a time we went, oh man, forgot about Rick Allen, or I miss Rick Allen? Was there ever a chance or a time that you thought that?
Not really. No, I thought that was actually one of the things I thought of.
And not a knock against Rick. I like me some Rick.
Yeah, the great thing about Rick Allen, I said this before, the thing about Rick Allen that made him great was his ability to understand that he had great analysts to go with him, right? So he was able to defer to Jeff Burton, to Steve Letarte, to Dale Earnhardt Jr. to call a lot of the race, and Rick Allen was able to give that context in a lot of those NASCAR races. That was where Rick Allen's really good, and he's still really good. He's still calling the Xfinity races, so he hasn't gone anywhere. He still does a great job there. But the thing I thought was cool about Lee Diffie is like he jumped in. He had really rarely done races with Jeff and Steve and Jimmy Johnson and Dale Jarrett, who were also on the pit box as well. He just jumped in seamlessly, man, and like their chemistry was great. And I have to highly commend NBC's broadcast. I think they're the best in NASCAR. And we learned that again, other than the fact, Statman, I don't know if you were watching on Big Daddy NBC or Peacock. I was watching on Peacock. And so going into the race, they were talking about how there was going to be commercials during green flag racing. So you'd always be able to see green flag racing. And on Peacock, they had full screen commercials during every, and so I didn't get to be a part of that while I was watching on Peacock. So that stings, but other than that, good job, NBC.
I was watching the IMSA race on NBC. Actually, it was a USA, but I like the NBC values that they bring, the audience that they're looking for. It seems like Fox is not. They're doing it for an audience that I'm not a part of, and NBC seems to do something a little more intelligent. And the analysts are telling me what's going on that I'm not seeing. And I don't always get that from Fox. And I want somebody to tell me what I don't know. And Fox is, gee golly, and I'm not interested in gee golly. I'm interested in
boogity.
And I don't know.
And the investment that NBC has made in motorsports, Supercross, IMSA, NASCAR, IndyCar, it's a footprint that they've got inside motorsports. They better be spot on for it. Whereas Fox, they've got the NASCAR Cup Series and somebody help me.
NHRA. And now IndyCar. I mean, it is going to be a fairly 50-50 split in the motorsports landscape come 2025 with a lot of big series on Fox and a lot of big series on NBC and their partners.
So I just hope they they raise the bar a little bit and they don't want to do all the motorsports for one audience, that they raise the bar a little bit and do it for somebody that, I kind of know racing and I want somebody to tell me more to elevate what I know.
Mm-hmm.
Freak Nation, your thoughts now that you've had a few days to sit back and ponder. Rick Allen or Lee Diffie? Was there ever a time when you thought, man, I miss Rick Allen? Just Lee Diffie could call a marathon and I'd be there for the full, 26-2?
Yeah. Because of his passion.
Yeah. And again, I didn't see the entire Daytona race, but what I did see through the tail end, I was up on my car seat on a dirt road, 7,000 feet up, trying to get cell service.
I think we went up to 7,800 feet to get that cell tower to register.
Yeah, that's like the old wire coat hangers for the antenna where you move it. Now hold it right there. Don't move.
That was us driving. Wait, I got service. Hold on. Don't move. Yes.
Every now and then Richie would be texting us and a text would come through. Oh, stop. We're good. All right, we got a break. Freak Nation, Keegan Kincaid is synonymous with the greatest off-road race, short course off-road race on the planet. It's Crandon, and you'll be able to see it on MAV TV. He's won there 3 times, and he joins us next. Also coming up, Dallas Glenn, NHRA Pro Stock pilot, who sits atop the points for NHRA as we get into the big go. It's big second hour of the Freaks. Keegan Kincaid coming up next. Speed Freaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studio.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add 1 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. 1 bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAV TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAVTV Go has something for everyone. MAVTV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, he is back. Keegan Kincaid, off-road champion, Crandon Championship champion, joining us here in the Freak Nation as we get set for the Crandon Off Road Championships. And Keegan, I've talked to IndyCar drivers, I've talked to NASCAR Cup Series drivers, and even NHRA drivers about lining up for their biggest race of the year. Indianapolis, the big go for drag racing. Indianapolis Motor Speedway for Crandon, that's yours. A lot of times these drivers will say, I forgot about the start because I was so focused about what happened on that first lap or that first pass. When you're lining up for that land rush, gold rush start at Crandon, do you forget where you are at all because you're so focused on getting that truck through turn one?
Oh yeah, it's probably the most adrenaline rush that I've ever had. Sitting on that start line of Crandon, we're lined up side by side, and for a moment, every problem that you had before then is gone out the window, and so it's kind of a relief. And sometimes you question yourself, what the heck did I get myself into? Even after doing it so many times, I've been racing since 2011, and it's something about Crandon, coming around blind turn one of Crandon. It's crazy because we're all lined up side by side, 10 to 15 wide, and it's like who's not going to lift. And so it takes a little bit of commitment, having a good spotter. My dad's always been there for me, spotting and giving you a rundown of that first lap, what it looks like. Something a little different than Crandon is we don't get a sight lap. And so we don't know if that guy in that water truck doused turn one or doused turn two. What does it look like? So there's a lot of unknowns that make it risky. And so that's what makes Crandon though, is that start, land rush start, is something everybody that gets to see it in person remembers.
Freak Nation, his name is Keegan Kincaid, running for another Crandon Championship. Not running the full season this year or 2023. We'll get to that in a minute. But can you explain, by the way, with MAV TV covering Crandon live this year, it's going to be added exposure for the series. But for those who aren't familiar with the type of start that you're talking about, can you give us a description of where the trucks line up, how it starts, and really how it funnels into that first turn?
Yeah, so Crandon is really different than any other race that we do. Normally, short course is lined up 2x2 rolling starts. And when we go to Crandon, they line us up, motocross style, staggered start, lined up dead across, 15 wide. And Faye Stetsony, who's been the flag man there since I can remember, basically goes to the tower and we sit there and wait. It's basically a gate drop, and we funnel in. We probably have a 300 yard, 400 yard start into turn one that funnels down into basically 3 to 4 wide, and 15 wide going into that is something that's pretty spectacular when they drop that. And so the land rush is everything at Crandon. The start is crucial because you could be 6th, 7th, 8th, and still have an opportunity to get the whole shot. And we've always had good success. My dad has. This spring we unfortunately I touched the wall a little bit, but we've been known to run close to the outside wall and flirt with fire into turn 1. And any crash, top 10 crash has probably been at Crandon in turn 1 with all these trucks. And so, yeah, lining up motocross style and coming into turn 1 at nearly 100 miles an hour is something pretty crazy.
Keegan Kincaid, Pro 2 champion. In doing the research for this, I ran across a video where they had the nose of the truck at the top and your footwork at the bottom. Fascinated with the nuance of left foot braking. When did that come together for you? Because you were touching the brake and you could see just the imperceptible change in the truck's attitude. When did that click and say, oh, that's how you do it?
Yeah, my dad's always been a 2-foot driver. He was in a 7-time pro light champ, and back then it was 4-cylinder days. And so they had a clutch system. Well, I learned how to drive that way as well. But the technique basically came 2-footed was, just experience, reactionary timing and coordinating your feet with it to do a 2-foot braking, basically left foot brake, right foot gas. In our Pro 2s, we run a turbo 400 trans. So has a torque converter, don't need a clutch system. So if you can increase that reaction time, you can drive that another 50 feet deeper into the turn. And so I've always just become adapt to it. I don't drive my personal vehicle that way, but it's something that, allows me to keep control of the car. And whether I'm coming into a turn or even mid turn, that allows me to be able to use both and keep the car in control and almost, a lot of it came from Robbie Gordon's Stadium Super Truck Racing was a lot of 2-foot braking on the asphalt and being able to control the car in the corner and control your wheel speed. And so we do a little bit of that. I do have a handbrake in there. That's all rear. I know the video that you're talking of, and that was at Crandon. So yeah, being able to have the option and have that there was always crucial for me. And so now it's become habit, I guess.
There seems to be, and maybe it is with some of this left foot braking we're talking about, the comfortability you just referenced, there seems to be a greater influx of off-road drivers into NASCAR of all series. I know the OGs that people think of are Robbie Gordon, like you referenced, and Jimmy Johnson, but recently Riley Herbst, Sheldon Creed, there's others I could go on. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think, off-road in general and dirt racing has like a lot of assets that you can take to asphalt and racing. And Sheldon Creed is a great example, Haley Deegan, and a lot of these successful short course racers have gone on to race NASCAR. Even, Tony Stewart and Kyle Larson, all these guys have dirt background and my dad's always said, driving with the butt and the seat, you're driving with the seat, not necessarily the wheel. And so I think that has a huge advantage. A lot of them have driven a lot of different vehicles and, Sheldon's done great. And obviously Jimmy Johnson coming from short course. And so I think there's a lot going on in short course that translates over, even though it is dirt to asphalt. I think a lot of these guys develop some good traits and some good abilities to be able to transfer that over.
You're not full-time this year. You weren't last year either. You won the full-time 2022 championship. Is this dabbling into other things the reason why you're not full-time? You also brought up your 4 kids. Are there other things that you would just rather do?
Yeah, my dad, always had, told me he had one regret, and that wasn't moving up into other categories and going to do other things. So I've kind of made it a little bit of a priority of my own to, besides the value aspect of it for sponsors and for myself, this is my full-time job. Being able to take my kids. And I always said, if I couldn't take my family and they couldn't be at the track, I don't think I'd be doing it. And so, I have a great group of friends and family that travel with me. And so this is one of those things where I want to go do desert and there's value there for me. And, Lucas has been a huge supporter of that and supporting what I would like to do and provide them value as well. And so we're building a house. We're building in-house a new car to go race in the desert. We built all our own short course trucks. That's basically what we have done for a living, my dad and I, and just continuing that and enjoying it. And I've learned just prioritizing. There's not enough time in the day. And so being able to prioritize that and accomplish the things that I want to do and also my kids want to do. So if it was just me, I'd probably be doing a lot more racing and a lot more traveling. But having the kids is a blessing to be able to bring them to the racetrack and hang out and give them the opportunities that I had.
Well, this is awesome, buddy. Keegan Kincaid, again, running for another Crandon championship. You can watch all of it on MAV TV, Freak Nation. Buddy, good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
Freak Nation. Yep, MAV TV, your home for the Crandon Off Road Nationals. Coming up next, his name is Dallas Glenn, part of the tightest racing class in the history of mankind. I'm talking about pro stock in the NHRA. He's your points leader. He joins us next. And your stat man scat. Big interview with Dallas Glenn next. SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Summer is finally here. Cookouts, pool parties, and rising gas prices. Time to start using Lucas Fuel Treatment. Lucas Fuel Treatment improves mileage, increases power, and lowers emissions. It's a virtual tune-up in a bottle. Just pour it directly into the tank for a dramatic improvement in the performance of your vehicle. Good for gas and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. Get it now at your local auto parts store.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAV TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAV TV Go has something for everyone. MAV TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Your Statman Scat, brought to you by STEM Stories, When Racing Goes to School and Grows Up, by Bill Wood, a.k.a. Statman. Now look, motorsports are at a crossroads, and out of the cloudy future, however, comes STEM education. Motorsports are the perfect vehicle to teach science, technology, engineering, and math to the next generation of racing fans. Get a copy of STEM Stories now at Amazon.com.
Once again, a good motor race telecast on NBC. Sunday, it was IMSA at Virginia International Raceway. I think the largest nuance was the smaller field. IMSA can race with 5 classes at once, including faster prototypes. Sunday, only 2 GT classes were on the track. That made it possible for drivers to race instead of fighting to stay out of the way. VIR is a technical track with lots of turning and braking. There was also lots of strategy and points racing, with championships at stake approaching the end of the season. And there was considerable attention given to the racing between the Ford Mustangs and Chevrolet Corvettes. Sunday, the Mustangs got the best of it. Fords were 2nd and 4th in GTD Pro. The Corvettes were 13th and 15th, suffering problems most of the afternoon. I go back to the days when Chevy versus Ford was large. That's different today, but I still relate to that imagery. In fact, the Ford team includes a DTM champion, a European Le Mans champion, a Rolex 24 winner, and an ALMS champion. That's pretty heavy stuff to root for. They're getting that GT3 program going in the right direction at the end of the season. Peace.
Freak Nation, he's back in the Lucas Oil Studios. Dallas Glenn, your Brainerd winner for the Lucas Oil Nationals, by the way. Pro Stock class. Couple of things before we get into actually racing. Tell the Freak Nation about that lid that you're wearing right now. That is just badass, Dallas.
Yeah, they gave us this kind of lumberjack hat here for winning. I think all the winners at Brainerd got one. I think it's pretty cool. It definitely keeps your ears warm. I like it. I'm probably going to be wearing it this winter.
Yeah, those heavy snowstorms you get there in Carolina, you might need it.
Yeah, all quarter inch of snow that we get.
Right.
All closes everything.
The second question is, again, we know you run with KB Racing, KB Titan, and Greg Anderson's part of that. Why are you sitting in front of a Greg Anderson poster and not in front of a Dallas Glenn poster?
I probably just because I haven't had one of these banners made. You know, we're just in the conference room right now, so I just bring the laptop in here and pop on here whenever I need to do a podcast or an interview or anything, and whatever I just happen to sit in front of, it's kind of what I sit in front of.
Well, listen, we know Greg Anderson. We've known him a long damn time. There's been a couple of times where I've told him to kiss my ass. Have you ever told him to kiss your ass and put a Put a banner up there behind me with all my wins?
No, he's kind of one of those that signs my paycheck, so I haven't really said that to him. But no, if I really, I'm sure he wouldn't care if I went and got my own banner. Put it right over the top of his.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, who's
He's
the
like,
point
as long
right
as it's not in the way of his dyno room or the hone or the CNC machine, I don't think he'd care.
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah, I get that. So when do you guys take off for Indy? Brainerd was awesome. You've had an amazing season, but now it's Indy. It's the big go, and then it's the playoffs. I mean, I feel like the stress level for NHRA has just gone through the roof because now everything matters arguably even more.
Yeah, Brainerd is 1.5 points, and these guys like to be a perfectionist and work on everything until the very last minute. So most likely I'm going to say we're going to leave sometime Wednesday and park on Thursday and set up and be ready to go on Friday morning. So I don't think we run until late Friday, but yeah, they like to I don't think there's ever been a Indy that I've showed up early for. So they like to wait till the last minute before they send us out.
Now hold on real quick. Indy is 1.5 points. Is that correct?
Yes, Indy is 1.5 points.
Okay, gotcha. We're talking with Dallas Glenn, NHRA Pro Stock points leader right now, coming off a win at the Lucas Oil Nationals in Brainerd. And I find that interesting. You say you don't think you've ever been early to Indy. That is essentially the NHRA's Super Bowl. I would feel like you would want to get there early, be prepared. What's this late show up thing all about?
Well, Greg works on engines until pretty much the morning of almost. So it's all about trying to find that last horsepower or that last little thing, or try to find any little bit that you can. And, we tend to go testing right before, or they're working on engines or trying something new, or they're always doing something always last minute. So we usually don't get our last couple engines until like right up to the point where we have to leave or we'll be late. So we usually never show up early.
Wow. So it's something that it's got to be shop based. It can't be once you get on site.
Yeah, no, they dyno engines here.
Oh.
They have their machine shop, so they're always dynoing something or trying a new camshaft or a new manifold, or they're always doing something.
It used to be your teammate Greg Anderson and his other teammates would swap cars when they would tune them at the track. You do the same thing with him now?
Not quite. When it went to fuel injection, stuff kind of changed a little bit. Obviously, when Greg left, that changed as well. Greg kind of does all the laptop tuning on his own and services his engine. I pull the clutch out of my own car and build the transmissions for it. So we kind of just work on our own cars right now. But, if there's anything that has to be done on Greg's car, I usually, like rear end wise or something, or a transmission. Sometimes if I have time, I'll go help build his transmission. I've done that before. And whenever there's an engine issue on my car, he might jump over there, help the engine guys fix the engine on mine too. So it's a team effort. We always make sure that we're giving each other the best chance of taking on the other teammates.
Dude, I've got a comment. That hat, it's like Elmer Fudd, and you're the baddest dude in pro stock racing right now. And you can't be out chasing that rascally rabbit. I mean, come on, man.
Oh, you got to have fun too. You can't be. It's definitely a major part of pro stock racing is how focused you can be. And if you're all burned out all the time, not having fun, then it's definitely going to affect your performance.
Yeah, something must be working because you're leading the points, and you're leading. You almost got 2 events that you could sit out with and not have. You'd still be leading the points if you sat out almost 2 events. Good for you.
Yeah, well, I kind of had a big lead going into the countdown last year, and that's the thing with the countdown; it all resets. So we know how that ended up. I have a number 6 on my car this year, and I'd like to turn that into a number 1 for next year. So I'm definitely going to have to try to keep this momentum going through the countdown rather than have it stop at the countdown like I did last year. So I think last year, I don't know if I had 5 or 6 first round losses, and 4 of them were in the countdown. So I definitely cannot repeat that of last year, but it's tough. You look at this last race at Brainerd, the qualifying, like number 1 was a 60, I think it was. and 61.2, and number 16 was a 65. I mean, it's just 4 or 5 hundredths, and you miss 2 shifts and stage a little bit wrong, and you go from second to being 14th.
You talked about the points getting reset. I would imagine you might not be the biggest fan of that because your momentum then gets reset, arguably, going into the playoffs. So how can you mentally recalibrate yourself after having such a massive cushion and having everything tight again for just the final few races?
Well, last year I tried putting more pressure on myself and tried to make sure I didn't make any mistakes, and just try to and I kind of just opened the door for mistakes. I think first race I went like 001 red first round, which was definitely not the right thing to do. So this year I kind of just want to try to tighten up some a little bit, and try not to make my lights a little bit better, but just try to keep doing the same thing that I've been doing. It's been working all year. I don't really see any reason to try to change what I've been doing. I've been to 7 or 8 finals this year. If I just continue to do that through the countdown and just keep doing what I've been doing, I just kind of need to let that speak for itself and trust that the process will work in the end.
Well, Dallas, it's great to get you back in here, buddy. Good luck to you at the Big Go. It's going to be a hell of a weekend, partner.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't really looked at the weather yet. To me, it's still a week away, so there's still a lot of stuff that I got to do. A lot of stuff. I don't think a single one of our cars is put together yet. They're still all basically bare chassis right now, which is pretty standard for the week before a race. But still lots to do. Looking forward to it though. I've missed out against Greg in the final where I went 002 red to him 2 years ago in the final round of Indy, and I would really like some redemption. It's one of the hardest races to win. It's the only kind of 4-day race where we get 5 qualifying runs, and it feels like it drags on forever. You get your 1 run Friday, your 2 Saturday, your 2 Sunday. You do all of that just so you can race on Monday. So it's a long drawn out race, and it makes it a little bit extra tough. You've got to stay focused through all the days.
It's awesome.
Make Monday worth it.
Absolutely.
Dallas, thank you, buddy.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on here.
You got it. Tell Greg that we said we hope that you kick his ass.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell him. Yeah. I guarantee he'll get a chuckle out of it.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, buddy.
All right, thank you.
And Freak Nation, some say this upcoming weekend is bigger than the Daytona 500 weekend and the Indy 500 weekend. We'll tell you why. It's coming up next. SpeedFreaks Pets and Lucas Oil Studios.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Summer is finally here. Cookouts, pool parties, and rising gas prices. Time to start using Lucas Fuel Treatment. Lucas Fuel Treatment improves mileage, increases power, and lowers emissions. It's a virtual tune-up in a bottle. Just pour it directly into the tank for a dramatic improvement in the performance of your vehicle. Good for gas and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. Get it now at your local auto parts store.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go. your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
This segment brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com. Check out a line of products to keep all of your rides on the road. 2 wheels, an F-250. What about that Mach-E, that Mustang? I'm telling you, man, go to the website. Lucas Oil has a line of products to keep all of your rides, including your marine products, fat and happy. Go to lucasoil.com. About to wrap up a 2-hour extravaganza here on Freak Radio Network and, of course, on MAV TV. And the tease going into this break was some may consider this weekend bigger than the Daytona 500, Indy 500 weekends. Because, frankly, Crasher, roll down the lineup of motorsports series and their races, why this is such a big weekend for motorsports in general.
First of all, motorsports fans, you have such a great summer. Granted, I know you want to go on vacation in the summertime, but for you, the passionate fandom, you kick things off with Memorial Day weekend, which we already know how huge that is, from Formula One in Monaco to the Indy 500 to the Coke 600 in NASCAR. It's just, and motocross kicking off that weekend as well, and loads of dirt races. That's how your summer kicks off. Then it's just bam, 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 bam throughout a couple of months. And then it ends, summer officially ends with Labor Day weekend. And this weekend in particular, well, every Labor Day weekend, let's start off with, it's the U.S. Nationals, a.k.a. the Big Go. It's NHRA's Super Bowl in the racing capital of the world, Indianapolis. It's always a huge drag racing weekend at Lucas Oil IRP. And then it's Crandon Off Road, the Super Bowl of short course off-road racing. So that's going on up in Wisconsin. Those two events for their respective motorsport series are the biggest. So that's basically what anchors Labor Day weekend. This year, it's a little bit different and even more impressive to end the summer because the last race of NASCAR's regular season at Darlington is this weekend as well. So basically, the playoffs will be cut off based on what happens in Darlington. IndyCar has decided to throw a doubleheader at Milwaukee at you. I mean, hello, that hasn't happened in a very long time. And then you've got TransAm at motorsports. You've got, motocross is taking the time off, but they're getting set for their super motocross September playoff season. It's just ginormous. Labor Day weekend is huge.
And we forgot about the Kentucky Drag Boat Association running at
yours truly will be
Lucas Oil Speedway and Liquid 1,000 Foot in Wheatland, Missouri. I'm worn out just listening to you, Crash.
It's a bit. Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day weekend are huge for motorsports fans. So soak it up, baby.
Stat, man, we've been talking about Crandon Off Road for 24 years here in the Freak Nation. Not one time have I been to see, because it's on Labor Day weekend. There's always something going on that I've got to attend to or be a part of. Have you ever been to the to Crandon Off Road Championship?
No, and I missed that. It's different than the short course racing that's happened almost everywhere. That Keegan Kincaid talked about, the big, huge start, the land rush start. It's just different. The trucks they touch the ground every so often. It's just a different kind of off-road racing, and yes, I would love to be there, but I haven't been there yet.
The entire town of Crandon, Wisconsin goes from a couple of thousand people to 60,000 people overnight. They've got this huge fair festival parade that kicks things off on Thursday. So yeah, you guys up in Wisconsin, have fun. Huge. From Crandon, Wisconsin to the Milwaukee Mile. Wisconsin's where it's at, aside from the U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis.
Richie, in that conversation in that update that Crash just provided, all those races going on, she didn't mention any Formula One, buddy.
Hey, we're going to be in Monza in Italy.
For
the Italian Grand Prix.
Oh yeah, then there's F1 as well.
Oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, the world's biggest motorsport.
So how does a residential millennial keep track with all this motorsports, my friend, including your favorite Formula One and all this madness?
That's good. That's a great question. First of all, I'm very happy that Crandon is going to be on Map TV. So I can watch it. It's going to be some prime time viewing for me on Map TV, so I can watch it, because I've only been to see off-road racing one time years and years ago for the Daily Show. Kenny, you took me out to Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park at the time, now Firebird, and I got to watch them practice at the time. I wasn't there for the races, but I was like, dang, these things are cool, man, the way they fly around out on the dirt track there. So I'm not too. That's like one of the motorsports that I'm like least familiar with. So I actually would like to go and check that out. Kind of like what Samuel was saying. It might be on my bucket list to head out to Crandon and check that out.
Oh, Kenny, for our 25th year.
If he was interested in the short course, got to go to the Mint 400 sometime and watch the cars those trucks come across the desert at a great rate of speed, and the wheel travel makes it look like the wheels are falling out from under the truck. It's just stunning. It's you can't believe what you're seeing. It looks cartoonish the way these things move so fast across the desert.
If you listen to some of the interviews we've had over the last several years, or recently, let's go just recently, Keegan Kincaid, Ryan Beat, both off-road champions and short course off-road champions and Crandon winners. Crandon is their Daytona 500, their Indy 500. The NHRA, the big go coming up this weekend, that's their Daytona 500, their Indy 500. So you've got the NHRA who they throw another wrench into their series with 1.5 points.
Oh, right. Is it double points or points and a half?
Double or what is it?
I think it's 1.5 points. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just throw more things in to up the blood pressure.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I mean,
that's like the last event before the NHRA playoffs as well, isn't it?
Oh, good point. Yeah. So it's not just NASCAR cutting off their regular season this weekend. It's also NHRA. Yeah. Good point.
Is Labor Day still the go-to weekend for kegging beers?
Kegging? You mean a keg stand?
Just keggers, man. Having some keggers.
It's not kegging.
Crasher, don't listen. I didn't write the dictionary book on how I reference drinking. You know exactly what you would think I was talking about. Cornhole? Kegging? Cornholing with kegs?
T-shirt.
Cornholing with kegs.
You throw a keg into a hole. Somebody would watch that on the Ocho.
If cornhole can become important, people will watch anything.
Yeah.
ESPN2, they have the Cornhole Championships, and I do the double take every time I see it on the ledger there, or the guide. Really? Cornhole? It's like,
Hot dogs make it to that channel.
Well,
Thank you, Mav TV, for rescuing us with motorsports.
I mean, there was a time back in the day where, yeah, that's what it was. You would either you get hammered at some of your buddies' party. It would be, how quick can you shut down the keg?
Your Labor Day weekends used to consist of that.
Yeah, and this isn't a pony keg. This isn't the little pony keg that you millennials, Richie, like to drink. This isn't the half. This is the full-fledged big boy. You ever had a kegger, Richie?
No.
Huh.
No. I'm not a party guy. It's not my thing. So plus I never got invited to any of those things. Come on.
You never been to a hooch and chew? Come on, dude.
Now that I've been to. Absolutely. That's tons of fun.
He is not.
I have no idea what that is. I'm pretty sure you just made that word up.
No. Those were some legendary parties at yours truly's abode.
Yeah, and that little kid that used to, a 5-year-old kid is probably an adult now.
I think he's out there winning stock car championships right now. Oh, man.
Don't worry, Richie. Even I did not go to any of those hooch and shoes. That was pre-me.
And again, as you heard, Richie, don't forget, you can watch those Crandon Off Road Championships, those races on MAV TV, Formula One, NHRA. Again, just
everything this weekend.
IndyCar, a doubleheader at freaking Milwaukee. You kidding me? That's what you got this weekend, Freak Nation. And I'm sure Corey Day and
oh yeah, he won again this weekend too. Silver dollar.
He and freaking William Sawalich just going to go out there and just win every damn race they get in. Oh my gosh.
The next generation.
All right, Freak Nation, have a great Labor Day weekend coming up. We will have a show somewhere, sometime. I believe we're going to be on Tuesday next week on MAV TV.
We're not having a show on the day Labor Day.
All right,
okay,
there you go.
Got it.
Check
All
your
right.
local listings.
Booyah. Stat Man, shoot the juice to the moose.
And cut it loose.
See ya.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.